I knew I would screw that up. That was a brilliant introduction. Thank you, Paul, for pointing out that I was completely muted through the whole of that. I started off by saying, wow, that was an impressive introduction and very slick with the countdown and everything else. But then I undermined it by muting myself. So that's great. I'm really pleased that I managed to do that. Okay, let me start that again. So I presume that everybody can hear me now. The idea of doing this was basically because I like seeing how other people work. I like the way that they approach things, the way that they do things, and I'm hoping that by maybe sharing a little bit of how I work, you might learn something new and you might share some ideas with me in the comments, either on YouTube or LinkedIn, which is where I think I'm streaming at the moment. I also wanted to try out this bit of software, to be honest. This is StreamYard, and I'm thinking about using this for the podcast. So that was my motivation for this whole thing. So what are we going to work on today? Well, to be honest, it's literally just a landing page that I have to work on. And it's a landing page that is aimed at content providers who publish content relating to UX best practice, because I write a lot of pieces for various publications, and I do courses and I do ebooks and stuff like that. So I want to create a landing page which I can send out to them saying what it is that I do and what benefits would be provided by them working with me. So that was the little project that I had set for myself today. But it will use the same kind of process that basically I use for every landing page that I ever work on. So with that in mind, let's jump in and try out how I work and do these things. I've got no plan beyond the normal way I work. I've prepared nothing beforehand. The whole idea is that this is just kind of as I work, and I'll kind of give you a bit of a running commentary as I go. So I guess the first thing I need to do is share my screen. So let's do that. You'll get a lot of mirroring, unfortunately, because I'm just going to share my entire screen. I don't run multiple monitors. I only run a single monitor. And the reason that I do that is because I spend a lot of my life in an RV. And so I have to get used to only having a small amount of space to work on. And so, yeah, I've kind of taken this as the way that I work now everywhere, so that I'm not kind of used to working in different ways in different places, if that makes sense. Okay, right. So when I work on a landing page, let's call this landing page content creation landing page. Everything I do starts in Notion these days. I find it's a really good tool for just kind of putting my ideas together and getting me thinking about the content of the page. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to decide on our audience. And what I'm going to do is dictate a few thoughts about my audience, who they are, and what they do. I use a tool for this called Flow Pro because it means that I can just ramble at it, and then it uses AI to put it together into something a little bit more coherent and useful. So what we're going to do is I've got a keyboard shortcut that brings this up. So the audience for this content creation landing page are publications that are targeting UX professionals and are producing content relating to user experience design, and they want my help producing that content. So that would include people like Smashing Magazine, Wix, Frontify, who else have I worked for? Those three examples will do for now. And then what that's going to do is it's going to, as you can see, it's taken all of that and rewritten it. We don't need that last bit. It's put Wix and Frontify together, but that's fine. So there's a kind of very rough outline of my audiences. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take all of that, I'm going to cut it, and I'm going to create or I'm going to get AI to create a bit of a persona. Create me a persona for content publishers that work in the UX sector and create content for UX audiences. Make sure you include their goals and their pain points. Here's a couple of examples. And then I'm going to paste the rest of that in, and let's see what it comes back with. Okay. So digital focusing on UX, she's a background in technical writing and 8 years experience in content. High quality authoritative content resonates. Yeah. Struggle to generally find experts. Yeah. Yeah. See, that's a pretty good persona for my audience. So that kind of gets me going. Can I just check that people can actually hear this and see this? If you could pop a comment in, that would be much appreciated, because I'm worried I'm talking to myself here. But yeah, so we've got our persona, which is really great, and that's a good starting point. So then the next thing that I do is I start to think about the content on my page. And the first thing we're really going to need is a set of benefits that people would get from working with me. So I'm going to do a bit more dictation at this point. Right, let's go for it. Create a list of benefits that the above audience would get from working with me to help them create content for their website. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm not actually going to use Notion at this point, but I'm going to pop across to ChatGPT, and that's because ChatGPT knows me better than Notion does. So that's because I've kind of built out a memory of things it knows about me. So if you go into ChatGPT and you go into personalization, and I've got memory turned on, it knows all of these things about me, which will save me mean that it will give a better response to this question. So let's see what it comes back with. Okay, so it's given me quite a lot of different points, some of which would be better than others. Right. So access to deep UX expertise is definitely a good one. So let's take that over and put this in there. Tidy this up in a minute. High quality, ready to publish content. That's not strictly true, because I'd be creating stuff from scratch. Unique, insightful. That's not a bad one. I quite like that one. So let's grab that one. Streamline collaboration. Work with a partner who understands the content creation process. That's quite a good one. I wouldn't have thought of that one, to be honest. So I like that one. Content that drives engagement and conversion. I'm not going to necessarily get into that one. That's not a bad one. Reducing the burden of fact checking with an expert. We'll shove that in for now. Feel free, by the way, to ask questions at any point along this. Enhance reputation for your publications. Yeah, not necessarily. Although there is something to be said there because of my kind of experience and the reputation that I've got. And it needs rewriting a bit, but there may be something there. Long-term content value. I do tend to write about evergreen posts, so there is something there. That is quite interesting because oftentimes people initially come to me for blog posts, but I do try and encourage them to look at other things as well, because I enjoy doing like video stuff like this. Insights into continuous education. I think that's fine. We'll go with that for now, right? Excellent. Thank you to all of those people that have let me know that this is still working. Great. So we've got a few benefits in here that come from working with me, but it's a bit of a mess, really. So what we're going to do is we're going to say, we're going to ask AI to take this list of benefits and identify the top 3 that would most, why am I typing this when I could be dictating it, would most resonate with the persona above. You can combine multiple benefits together if that would work. Okay. So now what we can do is we can take all of this. Oops. We won't get rid of it because we might want to reference it again later. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to shove it under a raw list of benefits. So I'm going to just shove it under toggle so I can hide it away. Okay. So we're beginning to kind of narrow in a little bit. What's it come back with? Expert content creation, combine deep UX insights with pain points, alleviate technical accuracy, authoritative content, or reducing the editing burden. Right, agree with that. I like that one. That's a good one. Strategic content planning and differentiation, merge unique perspectives and streamline collaboration to deliver fresh, distinctive content. That one needs rejigging a little bit because I'm bringing my unique perspective. We'll come to that in a minute. Reputation building and long-term value, combine enhanced reputation benefits with long-term content value to establish industry. Right, excellent. Okay, those are good 3, but obviously I think the emphasis is a little bit wrong with each, so we need to do some rewriting here. Well, obviously it's not being written for the landing page yet, is it? It's just putting the benefits in. Okay, so let's have a look and see what we can do these. Right. What I'm going to do actually is I'm going to take these across into ChatGPT again, because again, ChatGPT knows more about me. So the following benefits are the ones that I've decided to settle upon, but I need them to be rewritten so they better reflect my experience and background. Let's see what it does just with that. That's a bit lightweight at the moment, but we'll give it a go. Yeah, it's not done a great job. Okay. Right. Let's deal with each of these in turn, starting with the first one. I think the thing to drive home here is that I am an expert in my field with 30 plus years of experience of working with large clients, and I'm well respected in the field. So that means that you can be sure that the content that I create is of a high quality and it's being produced by somebody who really knows his shit. Right. There we go. Much better. Okay, so that's that one then. Let's do each one in turn. Get rid of those, dump that in. I know that's all still too long, but I hope what you're getting out of this is the way that I'm kind of basically going back and forth with the AI and collaborating with it in real time to get where I want to be going, rather than sitting and writing all of the words individually. Okay, let's deal with the second one. In this situation, we need to emphasize that I have a unique voice and a following that people resonate with, and they like hearing my approach on things. And so I'm not just writing factual information, but I'm bringing opinions to bear based on my years of experience. That'll do for now. Pop that in. Right. Okay, let's do the third one. I want to emphasize that most of the subjects I write about is evergreen content, because we're talking about users and people don't fundamentally change. And so the content will last a long time. And the fact that I am a trusted source within the UX community, having run the longest web design podcast and being a well-known speaker, blogger, etc. Okay. Right. So we've got 3 benefits, but they're too long and they're not written in the right tone of voice, but we are kind of getting there. Let me just pop and see if there's any questions. No questions at the moment. That's fine. I wonder if there's a way I could probably, I wish I could pop this out. Yeah, don't like that. That's annoying. I'll have to sort that out. I'm going to need to get a second screen, aren't I, if I'm going to do this regularly. Right. So next job is to rewrite these. Okay. So what do we want to do? We want to select the whole thing and we want to go rewrite these. No, first of all, this is something I find works quite well. Act as an experienced, I can't type at all when people are watching me. This was why I was dictating. Right. In fact, let's go back to dictating. Act as an experienced copywriter and rewrite the following 3 benefits to ensure that each has a 2 to 3 word heading plus 150 character or less body text, and ensure that it's in line with this style guide. Now, that last bit is an important bit, right? I can now reference a style guide that I have created already, which is about the way that I write. Okay, so what I did is I threw a whole load of things that I've written over the years into Notion, and I asked it to write a style guide based on what it had seen in order to replicate my tone. All right. So, and this is what it came up with. I mean, obviously I've edited it and messed around with it. So now whenever I write anything, whether it be a newsletter or blog post or anything like that, I'm getting this to write the copy for me, at least using that style guide. So we can apply what we've just done, pop that in, let's see what it does now. So hopefully it should rewrite this. Okay, so now we're getting something a bit better. Expert content. I craft technically precise UX content, drawing from real client work. Each piece combines practical insights with clear explanations, minimizing your editing workload. Not bad. Your reader benefits from content that goes beyond facts to provide actionable insights. Fresh viewpoints help the publication stand out in a crowded marketplace. Focus on timeless user behavior principles, creating content that remains valuable and drives long-term traffic, strengthening your position as a UX resource. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I feel this is a little bit lightweight. Right. I craft technically precise UX content. Can we rewrite this to emphasize my experience in the field so that it's that informs the quality of the content that's being delivered rather than talking about technically precise? I screwed that up and there we go. Let's just pop that in there. Over 20 years experience. Did I say 20? I thought I said 30. Right. With over 30 years of UX consulting experience within the organizations like Cisco and Virgin Atlantic, it's just pulling this shit out of its arse. Where the hell did that come from? With over 30 years UX experience, working with organizations with a vast range of organizations. Let's get rid of the specific examples. I deliver content that blends deep industry knowledge and practical implementation. This expertise means content arrives polished and ready to publish. Love it. Right. Your reader benefits from content that goes beyond facts to provide actionable insights. Beyond theory to provide fresh viewpoints, help the publication stand out in a crowded market. Like it. Okay. I feel like that needs just something that's a bit more me in it rather than any other person doing it. So what we're going to do there. I think I would like a little bit in here about my personal voice and the way that people have resonated with that. And that's what makes the content I create stand out in the market. I really should think before I start dictating, shouldn't I, really? Your readers benefit from content delivered in my distinctive conversational style that has resonated with audiences for decades. My approachable voice makes complex UX accessible while still providing actionable insights. Let's get rid of this last shit. This authentic personal approach helps me. Yeah, no, we don't need that last bit. Right, last one. Focus on timeless user behavior principles, creating content that remains valuable and drives long-term. Yeah, see, that's pretty good. But now we've got a difference in length, but we'll leave that for now. Right. Let's see if anybody's got any comments. Nope. Right. Let's keep going. So we've got our benefits. Good. We're getting there. So I don't think we need this raw list anymore because I'm happy with that. Okay. So we've got our benefits. We've got our persona. So next thing that I work on is the value proposition. So the value proposition is typically a statement, a heading basically, that, and then a couple of lines under it that kind of summarize everything, right? So let's see what we can come up with on that. Okay, next I want to work on a value proposition for this landing page that targets the primary pain point of the audience outlined above. Write me a short headline that can appear at the top of the landing page, followed by 150 characters or less that expands on that headline. This should summarize everything that the user, that the audience, no, this should summarize the primary pain point of the audience and why they might want to work with me. Good luck with that. See what it comes back with. I see that's pretty good, right? But what we're going to do, I'm going to discard that. I do quite like that. I probably shouldn't have discarded it in case it does a shit job at it. Right. Write me, let's go with 5 short headlines that appear, followed by, yeah. So we're going to have a selection to look between rather than just taking the first one that it gave me. I actually preferred the one that I deleted. Oh, that's annoying. Content creation without the Canadian. Remember what that one was? Oh god, it was something about content creation without the UX expertise headaches. Stop struggling to find technical writers who truly understand the UX. Get expert content that's ready to publish from a 30-year UX veteran. That's not bad. Expert UX content that drives engagement and authority. Transform your publication with authentic UX insights from someone who has shaped the industry since its early days. Like that as well. Anybody got any opinions about which one's best here? Technical UX content that actually engages users. Skip the content headaches, keep the quality. I quite like that one because it's almost, you almost want the reverse of the first one. So UX expertise without the content creation headaches. That might work. Let's have a look, see what anyone said. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so this is like the elevator pitch. You're totally right. These are all good, but can we go for a version that emphasizes that they get the UX expertise, but without the headache of an inexperienced writer and the associated editorial work that goes with that? And can you give me 5 alternatives? These are pretty good. Let's insert those below. I'll keep those. I'm not going to make the same mistake again. Right. Skip the rewrites. Expert UX content, first time right. That's a bit awkwardly said. Pure UX wisdom, zero editorial hassle. Why spend hours editing when you can get expert content that's ready to publish? 30 years experience delivered in perfect prose. Save your editorial team's time with content from a UX veteran who speaks your language. I like that one. Expert UX content that won't live in the draft folder. Yeah, that's a bit gimmicky for me. Your UX content shortcut from expert to audience. Bypass usual technical writer headaches with content that's both authoritative and engaging. I quite like that one. I don't like that one because first time right is a mouthful. Pure UX wisdom, zero. I reckon it's one of these two. Whoops. What do you reckon? Any opinions about which of the two I should go with? Let's get rid of all these. And that one. Well, let's ask AI, shall we? Let's see what you've said first. Proven quality, expert, and timely. 30 years. There's something more unique about you. That is true. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Let's go with that. You, Leonard, I'm going with you. You're the decider here. Right. So let's sort out our page a little bit now. It's a bit silly, but it kind of helps me visualize it. So we'll make that RH1. And then we'll make that bold. And then this one should be RH2. And oh no, sorry, that's wrong. That should be an H3. So I'm almost using this to wireframe a little bit, kind of how the page fits together. Yeah, and we're going to need to look back at this and kind of right, work with me. It's probably something along those lines. Right. Okay. So we have our benefits. Now, after we do benefits, we want to get into the kind of thing that I can deliver. So for now, I'm just going to call it what I can deliver for you. All right. So let's do a quick list of things that I've done over the years. So I've written ebooks, I've written articles, run webinars. I have done recorded courses, run online workshops. I have done lightning website reviews. What else have I done for people? I think that's mainly it. Okay, is that everything? That doesn't feel like everything. I think it probably is. Okay, so let's, for each of these, I want to kind of give little mini case studies for each. I think I want to do that. How many we've got? 2, 4, 6. That's very nice. I like it when I get even numbers. Right, so for example, I wrote an ebook for Frontify looking at, I can't remember what the ebook was about. Let's do a quick Google on myself. Frontify ebook Paul Boag. Why is it on HubSpot? Anyway, that is the ebook that I produced. So that's all that matters. Right. Oh, it's gone and done it stupidly. Digital acceleration. Now, what was that? What was saying 30 years of? Oh, have I screwed up my title? With over 30 years of experience. 30 years of experience. Yeah, no, I've got that right. Mentoring, fostering community. No, I don't think that's not what I'm going after here in terms of what I will be delivering for people. For example, I wrote an ebook on digital acceleration. Right, articles. I've written probably hundreds of articles at this stage for a range of organizations, from Wix to Smashing Magazine and Shopify. That'll do. Although I might want to save Shopify for courses. Who else have I written for? I forget. That's the trouble. Anyway, we'll come back to that. I regularly host webinars on a range of topics from content creation through to conversion optimization and user experience design. Obviously, none of this is final copy. I'm just getting my thoughts out. Right, recorded courses. I have created professionally produced courses for organizations like Front End Master, CXL, and Baymard Institute. Okay. I run engaging and informative remote and in-person workshops on a variety of topics, from digital leadership to content creation and user research. I ran live sessions for Balsamic, where I would review viewers' websites in real time, providing them with feedback on conversion optimization and improving the user experience. Right, so we've got a little bit of a sense of the kind of things that we want to do, so that's going well. Any other comments? Maybe AI knows what I've done. That's a very good point. It probably does. You're entirely right. But I think that'll do now. We kind of got there. It was a bit painful, but there you go. Right, so we want to, for each of the selected bullet points, write a short headline of no more than 2 to 3 words and a 150 character or less description. Use the following style guide to inform how you write the content. And then we want to go. There it is. Why does it put it there? That's really annoying. I wanted it to overwrite. Let's go with it anyway. Okay. Expert ebooks, comprehensive digital guides on topics like my digital acceleration ebook for Frontify, delivering in-depth analysis of industry trends. Yeah, that sounds all right. Engaging UX content published across leading platforms like Wix, Smashing Magazine, and Shopify, offering practical insights for digital professionals. Like it. Interactive sessions covering content strategy, conversion optimization, and UX design principles that encourage audience participation. Like it. Video courses, professional training content developed for respective platforms like Front End Masters. I think that's actually one word. UX, CXL, and Baymard Institute. Interactive workshops, engaging remote and in-person sessions focused on digital leadership, content creation, and user research methodologies. Real-time analysis sessions providing actionable feedback on conversion rate optimization and experience and user experience improvements. Doesn't mention Balsamic there, but that is okay. Oh, that's why it fucked it up here. Balsamic. Rewrite this to include a reference to the work I did with Balsamic. Oh, got it right that time. Live analysis section as demonstrated in my work. That's a horrible sentence. Review websites to real time. Let's just get it to improve the writing, see what it comes back with. Real-time website analysis sessions like those are conducted for Balsamic, providing instant practical feedback on improving conversion rates and user experience. Love it. Right, that's good. Okay. So now we've got what I can deliver. Okay. So we need some social proof. What else do we need in here? Social proof. We need some objection handling. I think that's really about it. Yeah. Don't think there's a lot. Oh, about me. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Right. So let's. The social proof I've got on my website, that's fine. I can grab that when we get to it. Let's talk about objection handling for a minute. Objection handling. Based on the persona that is above and the services outlined on this page, please write me a list of objections that somebody might have or that the persona might have for working with me. Oh, look, it's even gone on to write a response to each. That's pretty good, isn't it? That saves me some thinking. Cost versus ROI. Premium content creators command higher rates. How do I justify the investment? Well, quality content comes at a cost. My expertise reduces editorial overhead, speeds up the publication cycle, and delivers content that maintains long-term value. The investment pays dividends through reduced editing time and consistently high-performing content. This is really good. I'm constantly blown away by AI. Can you maintain your publication schedule with reliable, timely delivery? I maintain a select client base. My experience means fast to turn around. That's true. Will the content be technically accurate while seemingly reasonably remaining accessible? Yeah. Perfect. How will your content stand out for her? Yes. Love it. Love it. All right. Let's get that to rewrite that. Rewrite this to conform with my style guide. Actually, I've just realized I've already got one for that set up in my favorites. What about the cost? See, it's going more conversational, which is more like me. You might be wondering if working with me makes financial sense for your organization. Let me put your mind at ease. You'll spend less time editing, publish more frequently, and create content that keeps delivering value month after month. Meeting deadlines matters. That's why I work with a small group of clients, giving each the attention they deserve. Your content arrives on schedule, ready to publish. Great. Technical content doesn't need to be dry or difficult to understand. Users appreciate how I break down complex topics with practical advice. Yes, this is much more me. Okay, what do you reckon? Looking good? Okay. So we've done objection handling. Social proof I could do on my website. So it's about so we've got a section now, why me? Right. Do you know enough about me, Notion, in order to be able to do this? I think I'm going to ask ChatGPT for this. So what we're going to do, we're going to give it all of the other content. And I think I'm going to create a new chat for this, because otherwise you end up, it's taking all of that previous stuff into account. And there was a lot of my thinking process going on there. And also it fills up the context window because it can only hold so much in its memory at a time. I am creating a landing page for my content creation services and need to create a section on why people should choose me to write their content for them, and a little bit of a bio, if you like. Please write me a short piece for this section of the site using a compelling headline of 3 to 4 words plus a description of 250 characters or less. Here's what I've got so far. Yeah. No. No, 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 no. No. No, that is not what I wanted. I need a single headline and a 250 word character description summarizing my background and expertise that makes me appropriate for this kind of work. Use what you already know about me, in particular, the fact that I run the longest running web design podcast, that I've written 6 books, and that I write for numerous publications and have a global reputation and have big name clients such as Puma, Doctors Without Borders, and the UK government. With 30 years experience in UX, I've written for top publications, authored 6 books, and hosted the longest read one. Trusted by brands. I deliver expert content that captivates and converts. I wonder whether those trusted brands ought to be the ones I've written for rather than my clients. That'll do for now. That'll do. My whole methodology, if you have not gathered, is speed. I know that if I agonize about all this shit for too long, it doesn't get done. So I prefer to get stuff out there as quickly as possible, rather than kind of agonizing over it endlessly. So we're getting to the end of the content bit now. I'm a little bit unhappy with this, but we'll go with it. Right. This section needs a better headline. Can you give me 5 alternatives? We'll copy that because I'm going to be using it a lot. Common questions, confident answers. I don't think I can go with that. Clear solutions to your questions answered with confidence. I don't really like any of those. I don't know. Come back to that one. I'm a little stuck on that. Right. I quite like number 2. Elevate your UX content with industry leading expertise. 3 decades of UX wisdom at your service. Transform your UX content with veteran insights. I think I'm going to go with that one. Partner with a UX pioneer. Sounds a bit arsey, doesn't it? But we'll go with it. Let's see how everybody's doing. Where do you define your style guide? Beginning of the stream. Okay, the style guide is literally just a separate page in Notion. So it's basically, let me just show you. Style guide. So basically I have a whole list of style guides for different types of things I'm doing, whether I'm writing, doing podcast show notes or social media updates or whatever. So the one that we're using here is the Boag World Content Style Guide, which is my main one. And it's just a page in Notion. So then whenever I want to use that, so let's say, for example, I went that this is a bit arty. So I can say, I can use this one that I've written earlier that basically say, act as a copy editor, take the selected copy and edit it to align with the following. And then I reference using the @ symbol, that other page. Do not add a call to action to this copy. Focus on editing the tone of voice only. Use the overall article as context, blah, blah, blah. So let's see what it does with that. Yeah, I don't really like that, but you get the idea anyway. I'm going to stick with the RC version. Let's do the same for this one. No, that's not the content I wanted. Comprehensive UX content solutions expert, UX content portfolio, full spectrum UX content partner. I like that idea of a full spectrum, but I just don't like. I like the idea of full spectrum, but can you find other ways of wording that? Oh, it's thinking a lot about this. I think I might have just broken its brain. It does this sometimes. Okay, I'll discard that. Get it to do it again. We need a new heading for this section. And I quite like the idea of something that revolves around the fact that I can deliver lots of different types of content. Can you give me 5 possible headings? I quite like number 3. Content versatility. Yeah, I'm going to go with number 3. Okay. I think we are ready to actually move into the browser and work on the website. So you'd think that that would be just half the battle, but fortunately it's not too bad because obviously my website has been around for a while, and so I've got everything set up the way I need it. So what I tend to do is I've got this, what I call a development page. Actually, we don't need that in this case. I have this place where I just dump new things, but as this is an entirely new page, it shouldn't be a problem. So this one's going to go under my landing page section in my sitemap. I work on WordPress, as you can see. So we're going to add a child page and we're going to call that content creation. Doesn't matter what I call it because that isn't going to be published anyway. We need to decide on a URL. I think I'm going to call it, what do we want the URL to be? UX content. That'll do. No. I will go UX content creation. That'll do as my page. Right. So first of all, we've got to do our value proposition. Now, I want this page to look a bit engaging, I think. So I think we might go, I've got a couple of different styles on my website. I'll show you what I mean by that. So we've got pages like this. where you've got a big image on this side and a big headline and blah, blah, blah. And then you've got more refined pages, a bit more like this, which is a little bit more professional. I feel like for this particular audience, we want high impact because we're trying to demonstrate our content creation capabilities. So I think we need something with a bit more oomph. So let's go back and look at what our content headline was. 30 years of UX experience delivered in perfect prose. Okay. So, right. All right. I know where I'm going with this. We're going to go with something a bit fun, I think. Okay. So what I'm going to do is we are going to go back across to WordPress. And we're going to start off by creating a 2-column design. And let's bring up the sidebar. We're going to make sure that this is full width. And we're going to just shove in for now a darkish background. And we're going to put a heading in here. And this is going to be our H1. And see, now, oftentimes I would think about, at this stage, I would think about SEO. But in this particular case, I've already done a little bit of SEO research, and there is no good keywords that have got any kind of traffic because people aren't searching like that in order to find content creators. It's much more of a reputation thing and that kind of stuff. So it doesn't actually matter too much what our headline's going to be. So what I'm going to do in this case, let's just go back and set the copy here so that it's white and we can actually see what we're doing. So in this case, I'm going to have a headline of UX content creation as our headline. Now, but what I'm going to do is I am going to be making this quite small, and because we don't actually need this, so I have a setup that I have for this. 0.31 rems pow, and then we want letter casing to be uppercase, and why is that appearing so big at the moment? It shouldn't be that big. Let's have a look. Yeah, that's completely screwed up. So let's put it as 1M. There we go. That's how it should look. Right. So that's going to be our H1. Now our H2 is going to be this. Kapow. We've got to turn that into a heading. That's already gone with H2, but we're going to set the sizing as a title. So it's going to look more like that, which is consistent with the way I was doing it on the other pages. We need to make it bold, which annoyingly makes it the opposite of bold, but that's a bug in my theme. Then we're going to shove in our content, and we're going to call that large text. In fact, that might be too large. Yeah, that'll do. Then we're going to shove in a button, which is going to point down the page, as you can see. And we're going to have get in touch as our call to action. And we need to add some padding at the top and the bottom here. Lovely. Now we're getting somewhere. Okay. Whoa. So as you can see, I did just for my own website, just design in the browser because, you know, it's a nice, easy way of doing things. Right. So we need a nice, big, chunky image to go in there. I think what we need is perfect prose. I mean, it's crying out for some kind of Shakespearean person, isn't it? So what we're going to do is we're going to open up my image generator of choice, which is Cree. And I have a shortcut that I have created that basically allows me to fill in what it is I'm after. So an old man dressed as a Shakespearean actor in an expressive monologue pose against a black background isolated, right? And then what it's going to do is it's going to add on to that using the following style: an illustration that combines dynamic character design, bold inking, and dark brooding color scheme, all with a strong narrative feeling typical of a modern American graphic novel, right? Because that is the style that I'm using across all of my work. Then we're going to have that kind of shape, and we're going to go, give me some stuff. It's kind of there. You know what it needs. I quite like that one. I feel like he needs to be holding a book. Dressed as Shakespearean actor, expressing monologue pose, holding a book. And the other thing he needs, an old, bold, because those are the best man, wearing glasses. Let's get him a bit closer to me. Let's see what we get now. Still got a big beard. Old men have to have a big beard. Also, the styling isn't really picking up on the styling I'm after particularly well. That one's quite good. If we put the word clean shaven, I bet you it's still it's got this bias towards old men that they have to have. So I'm going to bring my style in and see if that will help. Old bold man. Sometimes just the instructions aren't enough. Wearing a clean shaven old man. Bet you it still puts a beard on him. Oh no, we're getting there now. See, here we go. I don't know. He's evil one, isn't he? We don't want him. Let's keep going. Oh, I like that. Oh, so how many hands have we got going on there? Let's keep going. I quite like that one, but yeah, we're not there yet. I don't know what's all this cape business going on. Now it's all gone a bit Machiavellian, isn't it? Let's get rid of the styling. There we go. Still put the beard in. See, it's insisting on a beard. That's quite nice. I quite like that and that. I mean, I know I'm giving up on the beard. Let's go with, I think that one. Yeah, I like that one. Okay. So we want to grab him. We'll just dump him over there. We just need to do a little bit of a tidy up on him. So we're going to Photoshop out. Oh, I can't type. Come on, Photoshop. Chunky chunk. While we're waiting for Photoshop, let's see if anybody's got anything. Stanley. Well, that's not bad, is it? He's a cool man. Right. Why isn't it open Photoshop? Let's go for the actual proper version then. There we go. I expect the beta's out of date. So we're going to pull him, drop him over. Okay. Lovely. Right. First of all, he's facing the wrong way. I got. Then we want to remove the background. It's got a bit carried away there, isn't it? So I'm going to undo that. Do it the old-fashioned way. miles too much. Set that down to 1. That will do. Now, it doesn't need to be perfectly cut out. As you can see, the reason being is going to be on a very dark background anyway. Let's pop that up a bit higher. Go a bit higher still. Yeah, it's got bled through a bit here, so let's pop all these back in. Oh, did it the wrong way around. I'm rushing this, which I shouldn't be doing really, but galloping horses, you won't be able to see the difference, I'll tell you, because of the way that this is going to be used on the website. See this? I hope there's no potential clients watching the cavalier attitude that I have to doing this kind of work. Okay, and we need to add in a layer mask so that we can just do a gradient to gradient him out from the bottom, because he's dark there anyway, so that works well. Okay, that's then done. Then we want to trim him down so that there's no extra space around him. And finally, we want to export him as a PNG. Now, I don't need to give a shit about the quality of this PNG in terms of it being, optimized for the web. And that's because I will put it on I have a website that serves up images dynamically at the proper resolutions. It's called sirv.com, SIRV.com. So what should we call this? He is our thespian. Okay. I don't care what he's called, but there you go. Right, let's kill that then. Let's save that. Go away, Photoshop. Okay, let's just check in with you guys. He might sue. Yeah, quite possibly. I shall live with that if he does, Lewis. Okay, so now we've got to get our image, and we're going to upload it to my Serve platform, which once it's finished should copy the URL across. We don't need it here anymore. And we want to add an image in here. And upload from URL. Has it done it yet? Yeah, it has. Now, I think I'm going to use the profile equals medium, which basically means that it will resize it to be a bit more of an appropriate height. Why is he facing the wrong fucking way? That's really irritating. He's still too big, isn't he? Okay, so let's replace him. Now, I don't need to re-upload him. He should now be, yeah, he's still pretty big. We can resize him in a minute. But what I want to do, I wonder if oh, that's ChatGPT. Using serve.com, can I flip an image with a URL parameter? This is really the height of laziness. I should just reopen it in Photoshop and flip it. I bet you I can. Yeah, look at that. Horizontal. Flop equals yes. Gotta love it. All right. Okay. So if we add replace, edit. So what we're going to do now is we're going to set the height to be 600 and flop to yes. There we go. Now I see. Isn't that great? You can do that. He's a bit too small now, isn't he? 800. That's a bit better. Okay. So this column, let's have a look what this looks like when I get it live on the site. That's looking all right, isn't it? We've got a bit of an imbalance going on here because this guy needs to be aligned with the right, and I think we'll change the percentages so that this is 60 width. That's a bit better. And then we want this one to be aligned the middle. Yeah, see, that looks a bit shit now. What have I done wrong there? Oh, my word. That is completely fucked. I know why. Yeah, that's going to be right. But now your back problem is so I set the columns to go the full width, because that's where I want the background to go full width. But actually, I don't. I want the columns to be the maximum width I have on my site. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to group these, and we're going to call that group hero, and then we're going to make it a header section. And for some reason, it's already done the background, but that saves me some work, so that's good. Yeah, that's not quite right, is it? So we need to make that full screen. There we go. Come on. That's better. Right, it's fucked up here, but I can sort that out in a minute. Right, so that's beginning to look better now. By the way, I'm happy to answer questions if anybody's got any questions at any stage. Mystery, why did it flip? Did you update the wrong image? I don't know, Kristen. I think it was sometimes there's this weird thing in Photoshop where if you flip the canvas and not the content of the image itself, when it then saves it out, it will save it out with an unflipped canvas. It's really weird behavior. That's not the right page, right? So I've just remembered as to why it's got a weird thing. It doesn't like the header. If I move that to section and set the background to dark, and then view it, now it's going to the actual edge, which is better. Now we've got way too much space above and below it, haven't we? So I got a bit carried away there. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that completely off there, but we're going to add a bit more in on the like that. Let's see what that looks like. Yay! Okay, so now we're going to get there. We've got the initial layout coming together quite nicely. I'm quite pleased with that. All right. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to call that a day for now. Let me stop sharing my screen a minute. Yeah, I thought I'd stop sharing that for now, and then we'll come back and maybe do another session if people think that this is a useful thing to do. I've never done anything like this before, so I'll be interested to know what you think and whether you've learned anything in terms of the way I work and the way I approach it, maybe the way I use AI so much. Is there a way you could increase the quality of your video? The fonts are a little blurry and hard to read. So unfortunately, that's just the best that the application can do. There's not anything I can really do about that, I'm afraid. But I will remember it in order to make it work next time. I'll talk about what's on the words a little bit more to help with that problem. So thank you for that. Lewis, no, I'm not growing a beard. I just haven't shaved, although perhaps I should grow a beard so that I can then match these avatars that I create. There is no way of recording in higher quality, unfortunately, at least not that I've found at the moment, but I'm new to it. So it's a bit hard to say. In answer to whoever asked about alternatives to Photoshop, Todd is absolutely right. Affinity Photo is a really good alternative that I do use quite a lot. But I got sucked back into Photoshop because of its AI facilities, because sometimes I want to expand the canvas and stuff, and it makes it really easy to do that. So it is good for that kind of thing. Anything, any other comments? All right. Well, let's we'll give that a go and we'll see what people think and go from there. All right. Thank you very much for joining, and yeah, we'll probably try this again.